Today on Voiding Warranties, I'm going to show you Mr. Zappy, my unregulated battery charger.
Has this ever happened to you? You go out to your car and it won't unlock with the remote? You finally give up and just decide to unlock it manually, and it won't even start. Click, click, nothing, no matter what you try. Batteries can be expensive and repairs can be costly, but not anymore. Introducing Mr. Zappy, an unregulated DC battery charger guaranteed to fix your battery or catch it on fire and everything around it. Here for a low cost of do not try this at home ever. It's a horrible idea.
Voiding Warranties cannot be held responsible for you actually building or using Mr. Zappy. Mr. Zappy should only be used outside of anything you consider valuable, including your car, your house, your loved ones, your garage, your tool shed, your yard. Mr. Zappy can cause hydrogen fires, hydrogen explosions, battery deterioration, fires, short circuit, chaos, anarchy, dogs and cats living together. Oh, the humanity! Oh, the humanity! That's what Mr. Zappy can cause. So don't try this at home.
Voiding Warranties, where the solutions are made up, but the flames are real.
Mr. Zappy solves an actual important problem. When you deep discharge a lead-acid battery, the voltage goes down to zero and the actual resistance of the battery goes way up. There's very little actual acid in the water because all the acid has been transformed and gone onto the plates. So you put a battery charger on it, the battery charger goes to 14 volts almost instantly, and you don't have any charge on the battery. Then, if you leave it on the charger long enough, some of that acid will start to come out of solution, everything gets a little bit better, and then it'll take a charge. It may never come back to what it originally was, though. Mr. Zappy solves this because instead of being voltage regulated, it's actually current regulated. It takes wall voltage, rectifies it, has a capacitor for current limiting, and shoves it into the battery. So in order to put 1 amp into this battery, if it has to go up to 120 volts, it will do that. And they'll keep doing that until forever. In fact, that's the dangerous part about this, why I don't want you to try it at home, is because if you hook this up and forget about it, it will catch on fire. No doubt, it will do it. Has not happened to me, but I'm actually careful. Now let me show you. This battery is currently 8.6 volts, which is completely dead for a lead-acid battery. Now let's go ahead and get Mr. Zappy hooked up and see what we can do with this lead-acid battery. As you can see here, as the battery charges, the voltage is actually going down. Now that may seem a bit counterintuitive, but as the acid goes back into solution, the conductivity between cells goes up so it can better receive a charge. Now, this is forcing power into the battery, so the harder the battery resists that, the higher voltage is. As voltage goes down, that just means the battery's charging better. Eventually, this voltage will go down to something a little bit above actual battery voltage, and that's when the battery's really starting to accept this charge. Alright, I've given this battery a few more minutes with Mr. Zappy, and voltage has come down even more. It's under 12 volts. I'm pretty satisfied that I can recover this battery with a regular charger from now on. I could charge it all the way up. It would settle out somewhere around 14.3, 14.4 volts. And that's fine with a lead-acid battery. When they settle out and they equalize, they just start off-gassing a little bit of hydrogen, a little bit of oxygen. It's not that big a deal as long as it's in a ventilated space that can't explode. But I'd prefer not to do it with this charger for obvious reasons. But I have a treat for you. This is one of the cells that I didn't use in Franken battery, and I didn't use it because it would overheat when charging. I tried all the cells, I put them through a charge-discharge cycle, and some of them just weren't okay. But you know what? I have an unregulated charger and a very sketchy battery. This could be fun. It's showing 3.8 volts. If I didn't know any better, I'd think that this was a perfectly good lithium-ion cell, but it's not. Oh, who am I kidding? Let's leave the multimeter attached. I can buy new leads. Wow, sirens in the background. That must be for me. But it's not. Man, lithium-ion batteries are amazing. It's hooked up to the charger right now, and still 3.8 volts. It's taking about 1 amp at 3.8 volts, not phasing it. Alright, this is gonna take forever. I want to see something blow up. Mr. Zappy is actually on the low setting. There are 2 capacitors built into this because it's a run capacitor for an air conditioner. So I'm going to put it on the high setting. Disappointing. Not only did I not catch the big fireball explosion I was hoping for, I didn't even have sound rolling for that. Mr. Zappy, he tried his best, had him on high, but it wasn't enough. It's like the lithium-ion battery manufacturers knew someone would try something like this, either by leaving something plugged in or by a charge controller failure, and they made certain properties of the battery prevent it from catching on fire. Which is bad for my explosion, but good for my house. I'll call that a win. Now, until next time, if you like this video, click like. And if you absolutely hate it, just deep down on the bottom of your heart, you don't want to see any more of these videos, then click subscribe. And I'll note your comment and I'll decide not to make any more of these. I promise.